Hello and welcome to another special episode of Jobless Weebs. I'm Marco the Bebop Mexican, and with me today are Hatsume Miku and Humaru-chan. Today I wanted to talk about a series that I just finished that is related to anime. It is Netflix Cowboy Bebop live action. We previously talked about the anime Cowboy Bebop in a previous episode that you can just check after this video, because this video is not going to be that long in comparison to the podcast. I wanted to talk about it because I really liked it. For the first time, I think that Netflix didn't screw up. The series is a co-production between Netflix and Tomorrow Studios, with Andrew Nemec and Jeff Pinker of Midnight Radio serving as showrunners and executive producer Christopher Roth from Thor The Dark World and Thor Ragnarok. He wrote the first episode, or he did produce a few more episodes. In addition, there will be some other executive producers from other series, like Joshua Plum and Scott Rosenberg from Limetown, High Fidelity and Nightfall, Becky Clemens from Tomorrow Studios, that she worked in Snowpiercer and Hannah, and that's just to name a few. The original director from the anime, Shinichiro Watanabe, he's working as a consultant. The writing team includes names like Vivian Lee from Lost in Space, Lee Segal from Sons of Anarchy, Carl Tyler Greenfield from Ray Donovan, Alexandre Hartman and Sean Cunnings from Everything Sucks, Javier Grillo Marchuat from Lost, and Jennifer Johnson from Designated Survivors. For the directors of the episodes, we had Alex Garcia Lopez from the series Daredevil and Michael Kettleman from the series Sue. So a lot of these TV series, some of them were cancelled after the first season, and some of them have more than 2 or 3 seasons. That's the case of, for example, Lost in Space, Ray Donovan, and Lost. And I believe that also Nightfall. So the reason why I'm making this video as well is because Netflix just announced that they are going to cancel the second season of the live action adaptation of Cowboy Bebop. And saying that after I just finished today watching the series, it's a bit of a bummer, because one of the reasons that I liked the story was because of the writing, and it is not surprising given some of the big names that I just mentioned. And even though this is an anime exclusive channel, I've watched some of the normal series. Yes, I used to be normal. Ignoring that for a second, I think that the writing and the story so far, or the story as it was good in a way that it was a little bit more straightforward than the original anime. One of the mistakes that a lot of people do, especially anime fans, is that they want the adaptation to be truthful to the anime, or truthful to the manga, or truthful to the light novel adaptation as is, which is not possible. We have seen many cases with some other productions like Game of Thrones, Lord of the Rings, or even the Harry Potter movies, where the movies can simply not deliver the product that is originated from. If you are watching the live action Cowboy Bebop and do not compare it to the anime, but just as a, let's say, kind of like a different timeline, a spin-off, then you will actually enjoy it. The characters are well written. For once, I think that Spike, Jet, and Faye are very good, well written, with a good background, and each one of them have issues, but it's not anime developed. It's more like a drama and action series, like a regular live action series. At the end of the live action episode, I believe it's episode 10 or 11, they give us a peek of a new character, which is rather early on introduced on the anime, which is Ed. And so throughout the episodes of Cowboy Bebop, which I believe the length of time that the live action adaptation took is almost the same as the original anime runtime. The original anime had like 24 episodes, around 23 minutes each, and the live action adaptation were 40-minute episodes each. So they did went a little more in deep, and they did change the story because on the final confrontation of Spike versus Vicious, the trigger that made everything explode was not their rivalry or their vengeance. It was, and spoiler alert, it was Jet's daughter, which for starters, Jet didn't even have a daughter on the original anime, which I believe it was a nice twist that they gave, that Jet was not only a cowboy or a bounty hunter because he left the force, but because he still needed to provide what little he could to his daughter, and he was still divorced. But on my opinion, the fate from Jet's wife was way better than the anime, because at least she was married and she was good. Unlike the anime, that Jet's ex-wife was in love, or she was living with a bounty. She was living with a person with a bounty, which she was miserable. So I really like the fact of how the ultimate villain came to be, because at the end of the anime, you just see Spike and you are not sure if he's alive or if he's dead. It's just like an open ending. And the ending of the first season and last season, you see Spike, he's just unconscious. Ed finds him, but the ultimate villain becomes Julia, which on the anime she doesn't really act. She is just there, and she is the reason of why everything happens at the end, kind of, but she doesn't really do much, which in this case she was still the reason why everything happened, but at the end you see how bad her intentions were. Because she didn't kill Vicious, she thinks she killed Spike, and she becomes basically the ringleader of the largest criminal organization in that world, or in that set of worlds in space. So once again, if you watch Cowboy Bebop with the intention of enjoying an actual action space series, then you're gonna enjoy it. The characters are excellent. The CGI and other special effects are very good, but if you want to see just frame by frame the anime with actors, then it's not gonna happen, and it's never gonna happen. Brian and me have discussed previously how those live action adaptations are so bad precisely because they sometimes are trying so hard to look exactly like the anime that they are not doing that. And with Cowboy Bebop, I believe that they didn't want to make a carbon copy of the anime. They wanted to do something different based on the anime, which was revolutionary, and I still have no idea why Netflix canceled it, because I think it was still in the top 10 this week on Netflix. So, but anyways, money talks, and I enjoyed Cowboy Bebop. So I believe that the ending of the first season, I will treat it as the ending of the anime, because the ending of the anime was great, but it was like that's it. Like there's nothing more. So the ending of season 1, they left you with questions. Like the team dissolved way faster, but you weren't sure if they were like in good terms or bad terms, or they were in bad terms, but you were sure that on the second season something was going to happen that was going to make them get together again. But this time maybe if they were to fight the syndicate, they would now fight Julia or something. So anyways, that's for today's video. Thanks for watching this special video, and we'll see you next week with another podcast. Today is Thursday, and I will record with Brian tomorrow, but I still wanted to do something after I read this, and also I want to get comfortable at looking at the camera, because I'm not very good at that. Anyways, thanks for watching, keep watching anime, and see you later.